Dog Coaching and Pet Care, and I'm here again with Molly. Molly's our newest board and trained. She's about a year old, and we're going to start with some clicker training, working on sit and down and all those kinds of things. But the first thing I have to do when we do clicker training, clicker is just a marker. It just marks the moment the dog does something right, and because the sound is consistent, it's easy for the dog to quickly understand that it means that they did something right. You don't have to use a clicker. You can use a marker word like yes. I mean, realistically, the word can be anything you like, but you just trying to keep your tone the same. I do use yes. I mean, eventually I wean them off the clicker and onto a verbal marker. You know, a verbal marker, you can have a couple verbal markers. One like yes, which would, you know, in my case, whenever I say yes, I follow up with food, or good, which just means I like what you're doing, but there's no food coming. So, two positive verbal markers. But in the beginning, I like to use the clicker because it's, again, the sound is the same, exactly the same each time. And so, again, it's easier for the dog to understand that it marks the moment they do something right and that here comes some food. So, the first thing you have to do, whether you're using a clicker or a verbal marker, is you have to charge the marker. And what that means is teaching the dog that when they hear that sound or that word, that you can use a word, that food is coming directly after that, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is what's called charging the marker, or charging the clicker. Again, it can either be a clicker or it can be a marker word. So that just means teaching the dog that when they hear that sound, food is coming, or some kind of reward is coming afterwards, in this case, food. And as you know, if you follow us, I'm not using treats, I'm actually using her food. So this is called food training. And we don't use any treats whatsoever, we actually just make them work for their food. So they get all their food by hand through doing the different obedience commands and things that we have them do. So again, the first thing I'm gonna do is charge the clicker, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click it and then give her some food. Click it and then give her some food. Click it and then give her some food. I'm gonna repeat that over and over and over. And after quite a few times, I'm gonna wait till she's not looking and I'm gonna click it, and if she looks at me, I'm gonna know she knows here comes some food, right? And then we can get to work on the obedience command. So I'm just basically associating that sound with food. Kind of like Pavlov's bell. They hear the bell, they know the food's coming. And her mom told me she's very food motivated, which is great. So she's probably already eaten today, but that's okay. She's gonna be doing lots of exercises. So I'm not waiting for anything, I'm just clicking and giving her food. Clicking and giving her food, okay? So let's see, I'll wait until she's not looking. And when you're doing this with your dog, if your dog's staring at you, don't look back at them. Just kind of be uninteresting, right? Because look, she knows where the food's coming from. So I want to make sure that she knows the sound means food's coming. So I'm going to wait for her to be otherwise distracted. And like, I'll just stand here and be as uninteresting as possible. Even though I'm pretty interesting because I have a bag of food on my hip. There we go. And by the way, when you're using the clicker to actually train, the clicker, the sound, is like a bridge to the food. So the food doesn't have to be right that second. that's what the clicker's all about. The clicker marks the second that they do something right, and then you have time to reach in your bag and get the food. There we go. Okay, so you see when she hears that click, she looks right away. So she's starting to figure out that sound means food, and that's what we want. So now we can start training. So she's had a little bit of training, it appears. Let's go. Good girl. She's pretty good at doing the sit. Sit. So the moment I'm going to give her the command, and the moment her bottom hits the ground, I'm going to click and reward. Sit. Good. Now, she doesn't yet know, though, that sit means to sit down and stay there until I release you. And that's how we teach sit down in place with an implied stay. Meaning we don't say stay, we just say the command. And the command means to do the command and stay. Okay? And we teach them that by sit, good. If she gets out of it, I just say sit and a little bit of leash pressure to guide her back into that position. Okay? So, and then also, we have to release them. Let's go. That's how they learn. That's when they can get out of command or break. So in this case, I'm saying let's go because I have her on a leash and I want her to come with me. But I'll also teach her break, which is just like a free release, meaning you're free to move around and do whatever. Let's go. Sit. Good. Okay, so we're just going to do sit. Good. By the way, if she, when she initially sits, I'm going to click and give her some food. If she breaks command, sit, good. I'm not going to give her food and I'm not going to click. I'm going to raise up the leash and I'm going to mark it with good. I'm definitely going to tell her she got it right when she sits back down, but I'm not going to reward her because she broke command. And if you reward them when they break command, then guess what? They're going to break command to get the food. So let's go. Good girl. Sit. Good. Let's go. Sit. Good. Let's go. Sit. Good. So we're going to repeat this over and over. Let's go. Sit. Good. And I'm using very little leash pressure on her because she already has a concept that, sit means to put your bottom down. She just doesn't know yet that it means to hold that position. Move her collar up also. It should be up high. Yeah. Let's go. Sit. Good. And I am, even though she's sitting and looks like she would sit even if I didn't use leash pressure, I am using a little bit of leash pressure because I do want to begin to teach her the concept of pressure on, pressure off. Meaning that she actually has control of the pressure. The pressure, we just call it pressure, is the leash guidance, okay? It's just a way to communicate with them through the leash what we want from them, all right? And pulling up means to sit. Pulling down means to down. And yes, we want them to know the command, of course, but we always have the leash if we need to in any given situation. So I want her to understand what that means when I direct the leash up or down or wherever I direct it. So that's why I'm using that. Also, as we go on, again, right now I'm teaching her how to turn the pressure off, meaning when I say sit, I start to raise the leash. As soon as her butt goes down, I say, all right, I click and release the pressure on the leash, okay? But eventually, I'll just say the command and I'll pause a moment. And when she does the command without leash pressure, she has avoided the leash altogether, okay? The pressure altogether. And that's important because she, while she may know sit or know that sit means to sit down, she doesn't yet know that it means to hold that position. She doesn't know all the other commands. So we will be using leash pressure to guide her into those positions and help her with that. And we need her to understand the concept of pressure on, pressure off. So that's what we're doing here. Good girl. Let's go. Good girl. So I can click and reward for the fact that she held that sit. She stayed in it all that time. I can click as I make her sit and hold that sit longer and longer. I can click while she's sitting and reward her for, holding that command, and that's what I'll do. So anyway, this is just the beginning with Molly, and stay tuned. This is just the sit command, the beginning of the sit command. Good girl. Let's go. Sit. Good. We'll be doing more and we'll be working up to, good. Her holding that position, right, while I move around. Sit. Good. Let's go. Good girl. And, I'll be making some more videos so you can follow her along with her progress as we move through the different commands that she's learning. All right, so if you have questions, post them in the comment section, or you can email me at info@gooddogcoaching.com, info@gooddogcoaching.com, and stay tuned for Molly's progress. All right, take care.